Hey, the average Joe here. Today we're going to look at fan static pressure calculations and just how we can make that real easy with the software. I'm going to come into the File, Open Example. We're going to come in and open some system there, Air Handler and Rooftop Unit. And let's open this project that says 5 Basic A8 Systems. So we're going to see some air handlers that were created mostly by our wizard, answering questions and building the systems. Let's go down to this bottom one, supply, return, relief. So there's all my components that go in an air handler. Here's my space. Let me kind of move this out a little bit, and there's my terminal unit out in the space. So the first thing we'd do if we wanted to check the fan static pressure, I'm going to click on this fan and right click with it, and it's going to show me what equipment is associated with that fan. And that's what makes up that 3.75 inches of static, which you see right there. The 25,000 is the CFM for heating, the 35,000 is the CFM for cooling. You'll see economizer for 35,000, and the purple over here would be ventilation. So the first thing you would do is come in and change the winter heating and the summer cooling to what your CFM is of whatever project or space or building you're looking at supplying that air handler to. So the next thing, when you click on a fan, you can go in and under the summary there, you'll see everything that's internal to that fan. And as you click on it, dirty filter, the coil, that would be a cooling coil, the heating coil, plenum. And if you see something there that's not consistent with what you're used to, maybe the cooling coil that you're going to select, if I double left click on that, I can go in, maybe that was supposed to be 1 inch with some of your calculations that you're looking at on coils. And you change that to 1 inch, and you'll notice that the pressure went up. Now, I only did that for the summer cooling, so you'll see the summer cooling went up to 4 inch, but the winter heating is still a 3.75, so you can change them both. So you can look at all the internal items and the external. We have the coil there inside the terminal unit and the box and the static pressure on that. And then backdraft dampers, plenums, louvers right there. Click on that. There's a louver that's, serves that air handler if it's in a building. Then diffusers. Okay, so the two things I need to do is just say for my air handler out to the farthest box in the system, and we'll click on that duct. Let's go into key data, and we'll just say that's 100 feet. So based on 100 feet, we have defaulted a fitting factor of 1.5. So it's going to take 150 feet, multiply it by the static pressure, and then add that to the system. Now, right now it says actual unit static pressure. That's what it's going to use. That's if I'm looking at existing system. I'm going to come in here and go to my project properties and go under air, and I want to use the maximum static pressure, okay, for that duct system. So now let's go back and click on that duct, and you'll see the static pressure went up because it added that. And now it's going to use, because it's a medium pressure duct, it knows that that's the type of duct it is. It's going to use 0.25 inches and multiply that by the 150 feet to come up with the static pressure to add to that. And then we'd also go from that terminal unit to the farthest diffuser serving a space. Maybe that's just 20 feet as well. And then you'd add that in. Now when we go back in and look at the static pressure external, you'll see the duct there is 0.38 inches. That was a medium pressure duct, and the duct down there was just 0.02 inches. The other thing, there's my return fan, and that's going to handle the static pressure from the space, the grills, if there's dampers, all the way out. And I can see everything associated with that, external and internal. If we happen to say we don't need that fan anymore on this project and I delete it off, you'll see it's going to delete off the airflow diagram as well, and have to clean up this air handler a little bit, right, with some dampers. Now I go in and click on that, and you'll see that's the static pressure drop, and you'll see the static went up on the heating and cooling CFM because it now knows that external to the system, it's got to add the return air items in there. One other thing is every duct, you can click on it and say what type of duct it is. Round, what velocity you want in those ducts, static pressure, excuse me, there, velocities here, the shape, round, rectangular, whether they have lining in them or not, all that adds to the static pressure, and all those are easy. We have them default to standards usually in the industry, but you can change all those as well. Hope this has been helpful, so you can do these for each of your air handler on the project and just use the software. Maybe all you want to do is verify your static pressure of your fans in the system. I'll create another video that shows how you do that for the exhaust system, and you can create just a different space for every exhaust fan and identify exactly what's in that ducting system, whether you want to put elbows in there or use a fitting factor. You can do that in the software as well. Hope this has been helpful. Hey, thanks for watching.